Bienvenidos a una nueva Escala Clásica y hoy les proponemos un programa súper especial para compartir con ustedes la historia del todoterreno por excelencia, la historia de Jeep.
In the late 1930s, as hostilities were beginning to spread in Europe, the United States Army was in search of a hero. The military was looking for a new kind of scout car that could fight and help win a new kind of war. On June 17, 1940, the Army sent requests for bids to over 100 different companies, but with near impossible specifications for weight and size, and only a 49-day deadline, only 2 automakers submitted bids to build prototypes of the Army's new all-terrain vehicle. Willis Overland in Toledo, once run by automotive pioneer Walter P. Chrysler, bid for the contract. So did American Bantam, a struggling automotive company based in Butler, Pennsylvania. Bantam was no stranger to the small car market. Like its predecessor, the American Austin Company, Bantam was well known for producing several models of mini cars. On Monday, September 23, 1940, at Camp Hullabird, Maryland, the Army's new 4-wheel drive light command and reconnaissance car went on its first test drive. Upon his return, Major Herbert Laws said, "I have driven every unit the services have purchased for the last 20 years. This vehicle is going to be absolutely outstanding. I believe this unit will make history." Still, as impressive as the Bantam prototype was, this stunning new vehicle, now nicknamed the Blitz Buggy, was not without its flaws.
Bantam designed it, but the Bantam proposal had a 40 horsepower Continental engine wasn't powerful enough. Meanwhile, Willis, thanks to their chief engineer, Barney Roos, had a 61 horsepower engine. Barney Roos reworked the old Willis engine that they had been using, enlarged the ports to give it better breathing and stronger bearings and stouter crankshaft, and boosted it from 48 to 61 horsepower. That engine was sturdy. They called it a Go Devil engine, and it really was.
It started with the GIs. Hundreds, thousands of them drove these rugged vehicles all through the war. They swore those power buggies would go any place and do anything.
In addition to not having enough power, the government was also concerned that Bantam couldn't meet the production demands of its new power buggy. As a result, this remarkable new vehicle, although conceived by Bantam, was now designed, engineered, and built by Willis. In order to help satisfy the production demands of the war effort, Ford Motor Company was also asked to assemble a limited number of Willis-designed Jeep vehicles. Immediately, these all-new quarter-ton, 4-wheel drive general-purpose vehicles were put to use doing exactly what they were built to do, and in the process capturing the hearts and minds of every GI who drove them.
General George Marshall referred to it as America's greatest single contribution to warfare.
Wars are fought where the battle leads it. The Jeep vehicle had the ability to follow the battle wherever the battle led. You can be in fields, mountains, woods, plains, water. GIs could go places with it. They could go where there were no roads.
A Jeep and ingenuity, plus a borrowed ice cream freezer, give American Third Army men their first ice cream on the Western Front. Salt for the freezing mixture, and powdered this and that for the ice cream.
And that came out, I think, in 1937. And the animal was named Jeep. It was orange with black spots, and Jeep could do anything. Go up, down, frontwards, backward. There was nothing that the animal couldn't do.
The Jeep vehicle was christened the Jeep by the soldiers themselves. It was not the name as much as the performance of the vehicle and the affection with which the soldiers held the vehicle. The Jeep vehicle was more than something to get from here to there. The Jeep was a trusted friend to the soldier.
And in Chicago, more than 1 million sing and dance in the streets. Joy is unconfined.
Jeep became an American hero, and then it entered civilian life unlike any other automotive brand ever before.
Despite the Jeep vehicle's enormous popularity on the battlefield during the war, During peacetime, most Americans weren't in the market for a vehicle that looked and drove like a warhorse.
Most Americans would want to forget anything to do with the war after the war.
At that time, they weren't thinking of the four-wheel drive vehicle or the sport utility vehicle. They were thinking of urban lifestyles, suburban lifestyles, rebuilding lives. People were more concerned about going to the drive-in theater than they were about going fishing.
Jeepers, that's just what I need. And that's what I got, a Jeep. We use it for everything. Tow car, wrecker. We carry the tools and equipment to fix a man up on the road.
Willis's post-war strategy was as simple as it was specific. The company knew exactly what kind of vehicle their Jeep was and to whom to target their rugged, dependable four-wheel drive workhorse.
One time a truck salesman told me his truck would go over any kind of road there is. I said, how about where there ain't no road? He says, there ain't no such truck. I said, yes, there is, the four-wheel drive Jeep truck.
Willys Overland targeted the farm and agricultural market for the Jeep. They were deemed to be a tractor, a truck, a power source, but out in the field. They were certainly not vehicles that you'd care to be seen in around town.
Willys had a lot of foresight in the sense of knowing that there would be a post-war market for this vehicle. Even before the war ended, development was already underway for a civilian Jeep, the CJ.
What they did was they took advantage of the experience in the war to make a better product. They gave it larger headlights. They moved the spare tire from the back of the vehicle to the right side, and that made it possible to put a tailgate in.
How do I like the station wagon? Ask the family. We've got quite a truck farm here. I don't know how we'd get along without it.
The Willys wagon was a wonderful post-war invention. It was the first real sport utility vehicle.
First and foremost, it was America's first all-steel station wagon, which doesn't sound like that big a deal until you understand the history of station wagon.
Wood required a lot of maintenance. The all-steel body, on the other hand, had the look of wood through an ingenious paint scheme, but none of the maintenance headaches.
Then later the kids will wash it out good with water and a broom, slip the extra seats in, and we'll all be off to the movies.